All righty. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. And also happy February. Happy new month. This is the month of love. It is also the month of my son's birth. My son will be 25 years old at the end of the month. He was a leap year baby. So I love all things February because I love my big baby. Also, February is the month of when I start to teach all things self love. I love this topic because I am obsessed with caring for myself, taking care of myself, making sure that others take care of me as well. So, with the fact, with me doing a lot of mentoring and coaching to women that come to me, a lot of the times their problems can be solved if they learn to love themselves first and then learn how to set boundaries and so on and so forth. So this is why this it is my favorite month besides my birthday month in November. So I love teaching this particular subject because it's near and dear to me. So we're going to get right into today's topic. We are at day one of 14 days of self-love. I do this series from February 1st to the 14th. And each day I give out a topic that I like to speak on, and I will go live every day for 14 days speaking on these topics. And if you have not joined my Facebook group, that's where I am doing the activities. So the affirmations, the journal prompts. I'm going to do a daily self-care ritual that you should be doing. Just something. I'll do one for the daytime and one for the nighttime. So you're missing all of the goodies over there if you're not in my Facebook group. But for those who are in my Facebook group, welcome and happy February. So let's get started. Day one, the importance of self-love. Now, I can give you some psychological reason why self-love is important, but I'm going to give you the reasons why I feel like it's important and how I've dictated and how I made this a part of my life and how I live my life by incorporating self-love in my businesses and in my daily practices with people that I have to deal with, family, friends, clients, everybody. These are the actual things that I actually do. These are the things that I help people get through. But in order to practice self-care, you're going to have to start with self-love. See, I think people get the mix up of the two. Self-care is actually taking care of yourself. But if you don't love yourself enough to take care of yourself, self-care is irrelevant. Okay, so the importance of self-love through my eyes is a big reason why people succeed. Okay, this is also a big reason why I have succeeded so well in business and in life, especially lately, because I use these three things and I go by these three tips that I'm going to give you every single day of my life. Now, it took me a long time to get to this point. So for those of us who suffer from mental health issues, things don't happen overnight for us. Okay. They usually don't happen overnight for everybody, but things for us take a little longer because as a woman that deals with mental health issues, I have dealt with doubt. I have dealt with, feeling unworthy. I have dealt with feeling, just like nothing. I felt like nothing. I mean, I can't even explain it to you because there were days I just felt like nothing. So I know the importance of loving yourself enough so that you can recognize the problems that you're dealing with. So with us who deal with mental health issues, we have to put this as an everyday practice. Okay. Some people can, drop everything they're doing, start loving themselves, and boom, there you go. Well, with us, we have to do this gradually over time. It has to become a habit for us because we have so many bad habits and so many negative thoughts in our heads that we have to make this a ritual every single day so that it can become a habit. Okay. So to me, self-love looks like, number one, teaching people how to treat you. This is my most favorite topic in the world right now. Okay. Because when you don't love yourself enough, people see that. And so when people see that, that's how people treat you. Okay. So if you're dealing with friends that lie to you, friends that always bringing their baggage to you, friends that are just using you for your money, for your advice, friends who are just hanging on just to be hanging on, you don't love yourself enough to cut that particular friend off. So that friend doesn't know that what she's doing or he's doing is hurting you, because they don't care, because you don't care. Because when you decide to love yourself enough, you cut off people like that. And that goes for relationships with boyfriends, girlfriends, your spouses. That goes for co-worker relationships, church relationships, whoever, whatever. When you learn how to love yourself, you teach people how to treat you. Now, for years, when it came to relationships with men, I always stood my ground. So I had no problem with men disrespecting me. I had no problems with men not treating me like a queen, because I set boundaries with different men that I dated. Okay. That goes from the time I started dating up until now being married. I taught my husband how I wanted to be treated. I didn't allow certain things to go on. I didn't allow certain things to go on in relationships before him. So when it came to boyfriend girlfriend relationships, I taught men how to treat me. Now, it took me a lot longer to learn this when it came to my family, because like all of us, and especially in the African American community, we are not supposed to go against our parents. So for years, that's been my thing. Even when they treated me at my worst, I allowed it. I continued to let it happen, and nobody stopped it. So they did what they wanted to do to me because I allowed it. So for years, I put up with the way my mother, my father, my sister treated me, because hey, they're family, and you're supposed to take this because they're family. You know, I always heard, well, you're only going to get one mom and you're only going to get one dad. You know, and I like to look at them and say, well, did your dad molest you? Then I have to stop people because they look at me like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, because you don't know the story. So just because you have an awesome freaking relationship with your parents doesn't mean everybody else has. So for years, I let them treat me how they wanted to. They didn't respect me because remember even if you are a mother, just like I am, you still have to respect your children. We don't just say we have children and they better do what we say they need to do, or they better act like. That's not how it goes. I learned that the hard way. So I treated my son at the beginning of his life, kind of crappy, because I thought that's what I needed to do. And my son would say to me, like, you don't even respect me, Mom. And I would sit back and say, well, I don't have to respect you. You're a kid. That's not true. That is just not true. Because I was a product of my parents not respecting me. And yes, they're my parents, but they don't get to have me and say, you know what, I'm just going to run all over. I can say whatever I want to say. So I was called all of the names that people on the street call me from my mother and from my father and my sister. I was called these names. I was disrespected. So I didn't do anything about it, though. I just sat around and just, kind of, brushed it off. I'd argue with them and, we'll go back and forth. And then, next week we'll be back friends, or, we'll be talking again. I let this go on forever, on and on and on until recently. Because if I could put my foot down with people that I meet in the street, like I don't have friends that disrespect me. I've never worked for anybody for 20 years, but before, when I used to work at different places, I used to work at Rich's, and well, it was Rich's back then. It's Macy's now. I used to work at JB White's, which is Belts now. But when I worked in the field with other people, when I was a cashier at Walmart, when I was a cashier at Harris Teeter, I taught people how to treat me. And I didn't care who it was. I always stood up to people, and I literally put out what I wanted to get back. But I didn't do it with my family. So I had to come to a point where they were treating me disrespectfully in front of people, around people, around my business people. And I never said anything for a long time because of the simple fact that, okay, yeah, that's my family. But that is an all no. That's a big no to me. Okay? We can agree to disagree, but I'm sorry, respect is due to a dog. You don't get to disrespect people, period. I don't disrespect my son. My son definitely doesn't disrespect me. So when I set that boundary that you are not going to talk to me any longer like this, you are not going to treat me like this, I decided I was done. And since they overstepped their boundaries, I personally cut them off. Because I love myself enough to not walk around sad all the time. I literally was walking around sad, like I couldn't for the life of me not understand what my sister, what everybody in the world could see in me, but my sister and my mother and my father couldn't see in me. So it would make me sad. My life was going good. My life was grand, but I was dealing with these toxic family members. But when I started learning that same rules that I had for friends in the streets, co-workers or business clients, or my husband or my son, were the same rules I needed to apply to the toxic people. So when I decided that I love myself enough not to walk around here crying all the time, being sad and depressed, I set boundaries. And when they overstep those boundaries, I cut them off. You do not get to dictate who I am as a person and tell me how I should be treated. So when you start to dabble in self-love, you're going to have to realize that people are only treating you the way you are allowing them to treat you because you don't love yourself enough to say, hey, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. You're going to have to put your foot down with your children, with your spouses, with your friends, with your coworkers. If you got a spouse that has family members in his family that disrespect you and walk all over you, you need to put your foot down. Because you have to walk around loving yourself so much that you will not tolerate this type of behavior. And what's going to happen is you're going to lose some people. Either you're going to cut them off or they're going to drop away. And when you are in a place where you are, see, a lot of people are just so codependent on people. See, I was never one of those type of people. I've never been codependent. And I also know that that's a disease. I also know that it's hard for some people to get away from. But a lot of times why people don't like to set boundaries with their family members or their spouses or their friends is because they're codependent on them. And codependency is an illness. So that's some of the things that you might have to work on before you start. When you're getting ready to walk your self-love journey, start thinking about the things that you have to take care of in your life, which is taking responsibility of who you are. So if you are codependent in a relationship, you need to learn how to be independent before you can start practicing self-love. So you cannot walk around here every single day saying, I love myself. You might love yourself, but nobody else does. This is why you are constantly in chaos. This is why you're constantly crying. This is why you're constantly depressed, because you have not set boundaries with these people. So the importance of self-love is the key to good relationships. It's the key to good relationships. So tip number one, you're going to have teach people how to treat you. Number two, stop comparing yourself to others. When you become in love with yourself, when you are feeling everything about you, you no longer compare yourself to other people. What I found out a lot is people don't exactly love themselves until they do something to themselves. Okay, so when you see people get it, and I'm all for plastic surgery if you want to get it. I'm all for, losing weight, getting your tummy together. All those things work. If that's what you have to do to get yourself ready, be my guest. But I do find that people don't begin to love themselves until they do something. So I'm going to love myself if I lose 50 pounds. Well, why not love yourself at the pounds you at? I love everything about my body. Yes, I can stand to lose some pounds. I've done it before. I have no problem with doing it again. But when I'm at the weight that I am now, I don't care about what other people think of me because I love the skin that I'm in. So I don't have anything to change before I can start loving myself. I don't look out at other women, I had somebody come to me and say that most men love big booties, and I'm like, no, not all men. Okay, not all men. But see, that was instilled in this person's brain because whoever she was around told her that, made that a priority of what they liked in women. Well, I'm lucky enough to have a man that doesn't care about that stuff. Now, come on, don't get me wrong that I'm not some idiot, that my husband's not out here looking at butts, okay? But if he wanted somebody like that, then he needs to go get her because I'm not changing my butt to satisfy him. Just like he's not changing and getting and ripping with muscles for me, okay? So when you start to practice self-love, you will stop comparing yourself to other people. I don't care who is out there. When I put on clothes, when I do my hair, when I throw on makeup, even if I'm dressed like this, I think I'm the best looking woman in the world because I love myself enough to say, I don't care who I see. I'm me. No, I'm not getting a tummy tuck. No, I'm not getting my breasts done. No, I'm not getting my booty done to please anybody out here, not even my man. Period. I'm just not going to do it. Because I love myself so much, I don't compare myself to what the world thinks I should look like or what somebody says I should look like. I'm not going to do that. But when you practice the self-love, you don't think about those things. Okay, a lot of people never notice that I have a birthmark here on my chin. And sometimes my mom likes to say it disappears because sometimes we really don't see it. And maybe I don't see it a lot because I know that it's there and it doesn't bother me. And so I'm okay with the birthmark on my face. Now, I've known several women throughout history that I read about that don't like the birthmarks on their faces, so they're getting them removed. I have a mole here on my face. I'm not getting it removed because of what society thinks my face looks like, should look like. I was born with a birthmark. Apparently, that's how God created me. So that's how I'm going to stay. So I've never fought to hide it. I never, I do wear makeup now, but I'm not doing it to hide the birthmark. I'm just doing it because I love makeup and I play in it. But I never hide my birthmark because I don't compare my face to anybody else's because I love myself enough to say, hey, beautiful, when I get up in the morning, hey, gorgeous. I have it all over my phone, my Alexa, my Alexa app says, good morning, gorgeous. Because I practice self-love day in and day out, and I don't compare myself to anybody. period. I just don't do it. And when you start to practice self-love, you will let go of the comparison trap as well. Excuse me. Number 3, you will gain confidence when you start practicing self-love. Well, how do you gain confidence? What are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't have confidence now. No, you don't. Because people who have confidence walk like it, talk like it, act like it. And I used to get from my husband a lot when he first met me. He was like, "You're just so conceited. You think you're better than everybody." Yeah, sometimes I think I am. I act confident. People treat you how you act. For a long time, when I was drinking, when I was out here being the party girl, people treated me like the party girl. When I became confident in who I was and in my skin, people treated me like I was confident. Now, on the self-love journey, you are going to lose tons of people. No, what's my saying? I even had made a t-shirt about it. I'm not for everybody. Because when you are confident in yourself, you intimidate people who are not confident in themselves. Let me say that one more time. You intimidate people who are not confident in themselves. So you start to lose people. I have people that are on my page right now won't like a damn post. I don't care what I put up there. Will not like a post of mine because it was me. Because I posted it. Because it's just something about me. And guess what? I'm not for everybody. Hell, it's billions of people in the world. I'm not going to just stay in some little box, a little bubble with the people who I'm supposed to be around. No, I don't care. And I exude confidence when I'm around these people. When I go around these people, when I first got around this certain group of people, I was in a deep, dark place at the time. These people prayed for me. These people loved me. These people checked on me. But notice when they did it. Notice when they did it. When I was at my lowest, when my self-esteem was low, when I was walking around feeling hopeless, when I was feeling like I could not live up to the standards of these people. But once I gained confidence, once I started loving myself, once I started saying, you know what, I'm not going to put on the front for these people. I'm going to be me. When I decided to be unapologetically me, these people got gone. They didn't invite me to things anymore. They didn't pray with me anymore. They didn't call me and check on me anymore. Because you know why? They are intimidated by my confidence. Because I no longer need the pity. They can't do anything for me at this confident level. So when you start to love yourself, and I love myself enough to say, okay, well, they're gone. Bye. Bye. There are too many people in the world for you all to still be around the same single people every single solitary day. There's no excuse for that. If your confidence level is low around the friends that you have, you need better friends. If your confidence level is low around your spouse, your coworkers, you need to put your coworkers and your spouse in check. Because when you start to practice self-love, there are going to be a lot of things that you will not tolerate, but you may lose these people. So now you want to have to get to the realization is, do I love myself enough to be alone? That takes me into my motto that I have been speaking for years. I always say this every time people say, well, you going on vacation by yourself, or you at the bar by yourself, or you shopping by yourself, or yes. You know why? Because I'm my best company. I freaking love myself. I don't need anybody as a sidekick. I don't need anybody to compliment me. Now, my husband does that very well when we are together, but I am good by myself. I am my best company. I love everything about me. I love everything about my smile. I love everything about my eyes. I love everything about my birthmark. I love everything about my chunky little waist. I exude confidence because I love myself enough to just walk up out this door happy, smiling, doing me. And guess what? There are times that I don't have people around me because I have lost some of the best people. At least I thought I did. I thought they were good people. But hell, you're going to have to live. You are the only one that's living this life. You're living this life for you. You're not living this life for your children. You're not living this life for some man. You're not living your life for some church members. You are not living your life for your spouse or boyfriend, okay? Or girlfriend. You were not born with these people. You're going to die without them. So start now saying, you know what? You need to write down. I gave some journal prompts in my group today. But if you have a diary, journal, notebook, whatever, when you say, you know what, I used to think I loved myself, but you need to start looking around and examining your life. You need to start thinking about the things that you have going on in your life. If you're waking up every single day in chaos, you're not loving yourself, boo. I'm sorry. I come home, when I let go of the chaos in my life, I sleep like a baby. I go straight. I don't have my phone ringing with nonsense. I don't feel the need to be in anybody's nonsense. I do me because I love me. I love myself enough. I already know that I suffer from mental health issues. Why the hell would I ask for other people's baggage? Why would I carry their load and mine too? Now I'm walking around with my shoulders down like this, bags underneath my eyes. I'm never smiling. Why the hell will I do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Because some of you all are codependent on chaos and the people that you surround yourself with. You're codependent on it. And once you get that under control, then you can start practicing your self-love. Some people thrive off chaos, and it's a sad thing because my mother is one of these people. I tried to move her away from the place that she was staying at. She didn't want to leave, and it's not a good place. She didn't want to leave that place because she was codependent on the chaos. Some people wake up in the morning and do not like the fact that they're not in something. Some people don't like to get up in the morning and not realize that they can't do something for somebody. See, you think that self-love is loving and doing things for others. That's a part of it. But hell, you could go donate shit to charity. And there you go. Check that, do something for others off your list. There's nothing about you or your life that says you are obligated to treat other people better than you treat yourself. There's nothing in the rule book that says you treat other people better than yourself. And I'm just gonna do this because I'm gonna get my blessings. Okay, girl. Well, then while you're doing that, you're gonna be dead because you're gonna be dead from chaos. You're gonna be dead from stress. I don't get that. Love yourself enough to move yourself out of these situations. You don't have to stay in these situations. Love yourself enough to say, you know what? I might not have friends anymore. I mean, remember when I think I said this in my live yesterday. When I decided that I wanted something new, I lost people that were in my old life. But it opened up the door for some of the best friends I have right freaking now. And I'm so happy I did that. I have people that see me will call out my name in the streets and I'm like blurry and I'm looking because I don't remember you. Or I might remember you, but I don't care. So I don't say, hey. People say, well, you don't remember me, but I really don't care. What did you do to my life over the years to make me remember you? Nothing. I know people right now that have to be friends with everybody. They have to talk to everybody, who have to carry everybody's burden because they are too afraid to be alone. Some people just cannot be alone. But if that's the case, you're going to have to find better people to be with. Because if you're going to be with somebody, it needs to be people that are going to uplift you, inspire you, help you get to the next level in your life. But if you are just being around people because you can't stop being around people and all of the people you're around ain't got nothing going on, make it make sense. Everybody in your life ain't got nothing going on, but you're just hanging on to these people because you don't love yourself enough to let go. And this is why self-love is so important, because it's the key to your business relationships. It's the key to your family relationships. It's the key to relationships with other men or women. It's the importance of self-love is the key to the relationship you hold with your children. Because I did not know how to treat my son at the beginning because I was learning what I was learning from my mother. So I disrespected him because that's what my mother did to me. And I thought that's what mothers were supposed to do. Boy, was I wrong. So when you are thinking about these next 14 days, as I'm explaining things to you all, when you all are writing down the journal prompts, when you all are answering the questions inside your head, when you are alone, start to write down all of the things that was the journal prompt today, actually. Write down all of the things that make you unhappy. Write down all of the things. And I remember telling the young lady in my group today, I remember when I did this exercise 3 years ago. And it was 2.5 pages long, all of the things that made me unhappy. When I did this exercise now, I might have had 10 things. Because I practice self-love. So I have 10 things now that make me unhappy. And they're not major things. These are things that I can fix, that I'm going to fix, that I'm working on. But a lot of it now doesn't have to do with me. A lot of it, when I first started out with this list, it used to be, I don't like the way my hair is. I don't like the way my stomach is. Because I hated what my body did after I had my son. I just hated it. Okay. So those were the things. But then when I decided that I love my body and the skin that I'm in, I don't even bring that stuff up anymore. So during these next 14 days, start reevaluating yourself. Take some time these next 14 days and just literally, truly sit down alone and say to yourself, why am I always in chaos? Why do people always treat me bad? Why do people always disrespect me? Sit down and start thinking about why these people do these things to you. And then you think about, what have I shown them? What did you show them? Because self-love teaches you teaches people how to treat you. And when you start to exude confidence, when you start to say, hey, this is not how you're going to treat me. I love myself enough to say goodbye. And then you go and you're gonna think about these people. You think I don't think about my mom? You think I don't think about my family? But I also think about the things because guess what? Instead of trying to change them, and that's another thing you all do, you're so busy trying to change the people that you're with so that you won't have to change, and then everything will be all right. See, I knew that my people were not going to change. I did try to change those people. It's not happening. These people are who they are. So instead of changing them, I got rid of them. Yes, I think about them, but I also think about the fact that they're not in therapy. They're not working on themselves. So I know if I brought them back into my life, they are going to be doing the same exact things. So, sometimes I start to feel sorry, especially around the holidays this year, because I didn't spend any time with these people during the holidays. And yeah, it was a little sad, when during the holidays, but I quickly thought about if I had them over here right now, I would be pissy mad because those people would do something to irritate me. So I quickly got over it. I'm telling you, when you decide to love yourself, you're not going to want that stuff in your spirit. When you decide to love yourself, you're going to be walking around like, okay, do you? But you can't do it over here with me. Okay? And that's how I am now. Because I love myself enough to say, I no longer want to be unhappy. I no longer want to cry. I no longer want to go to bed with a headache because I have taken on all of this baggage. So these next 14 days, I want you to really, really take this self-love serious. Because for those of us who suffer from mental illnesses, this helps us. This keeps us out of that depressive state that we sometimes fall in. It keeps us from thinking that we need other people to make us happy. But all we need is ourselves. All we need is ourselves. Okay? So this is day one. We have already gotten day one down. The importance of self-love. We have already gotten this day down. We have 13 more days to go. And I want you all to take this serious. I want you to replay this because this will go on my YouTube channel as well. And I want you to replay this if you're in my group. Replay it. Every time you're sitting there and you think that something is going wrong, replay this message. Because you're going to have to get to a point where self-love is, when you start to do your business, because I'm going to talk about the importance of self-love in your business and as a business owner. You're not going to be able to run a business if you don't love yourself, because you're not going to love your products. You're not going to love what you're putting out. So you're going to have to love yourself enough to say, I love myself so much. I love my business. I love everything that I do, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have to practice self-love in order to be successful. Okay? So that is it for day one. We have it down. If you have any questions, concerns, you can DM me at any time or email me or text me, for those of you all who have my cell number. I want you all to take this serious, guys. We have had too many women who walk around in self-doubt all the time. I know too many women who are beautiful creatures on the outside, but have ugly souls because they don't know how to love themselves. And I don't want that for you, for the women that I mentor, for the women in general. I don't want that. I want you all to be able to love yourself enough to let go. I want you to love yourself enough that you love your body just the way it is. No, it shouldn't be an unhealthy body. That's not what I'm saying. But love it the way it is. You don't need tummy tucks. You don't need breast reductions. You don't need the big booty lift. You don't need plastic surgery to your face just to love who you are. So tonight, when you get in the shower, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. Just look at yourself. Just take all your clothes off before you get in that shower, because you do have to pass the mirror before you get in the shower. And look at yourself. Look at your skin. Look at your lips. Look at your breasts. Look at you as a person. and literally say to yourself, I love you. Say to yourself in the mirror, looking right at yourself, I love you. I love my body. I love my hair. I love my eyes. I love all my flaws. I love you. Then take a hot shower, sit in the shower for a while, say prayers over yourself, and go to bed at ease with a calm mind tonight. Because self-love is all about how you feel, not how you make others feel, not how others make you feel, but how you feel. Okay? So thank you to all of you all who have tuned in. And you know I can't read the comments because I don't have my glasses on now, but I definitely will read them once I'm off here. Ladies, it is time. Gentlemen, if you're listening to this video as well, it is time. It's a whole new year. Last year, you said you were going to be ready. This is my year. This is my year. Well, start with self-love, boo. If this is your year, start learning how to love you. Okay? Have a great rest of the day. I will see you all back here for day 2. So don't forget to tune in. If you are listening on my YouTube channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell so that you'll get the notification when I go live tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day, guys. Bye.